Okay guys, this is day one of the pergola. We had lumber delivered yesterday. It's mainly 2x8s by 16s. I've got some 6x6 posts for the corners and some assundried lumbers for the top. Basically what I did, I've been looking at building a pergola for a long time, and I've been looking out on the internet. And I found a design that I liked. They sell this as a kit, the company that sells this stuff. But I just decided to pretty much take their design and kind of make it my own. I mean, as long as you can measure and work with 2x whatever lumber, you can build this. So lots of YouTubes, lots of Pinterest videos on how to build a pergola, and yeah, I just printed out their instructions just so I can reference them if I have any questions. But I've been designing this in my head forever. And I'm going to take their design, modify it to meet my own. So step one was obviously get these 4 posts up here, these 6x6 posts, and I'm cutting out the cheek cuts. So these 2x8s here will kind of rest in here. They'll overhang a little bit, which I like. It kind of gives it a little character. All I did was measure on my circular saw a depth of 1 inch, and I cut a whole bunch of cuts about no more than 1/4 of an inch across all of those. And then you take your hammer and tap, 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 and all the big pieces fall out, as you can see down here. Then I grabbed my chisel and just kind of cleaned it up a little bit. I'm going to grab my probably belt sander or rotary sander real quick and just give it a quick once over just to clean up the cut. And then I will flip these all over and do the other side. Same thing as I did here, 1 inch down. So all I'm doing is really making a kit, like I said, and then I'll move it to the back porch and put it together. I'll be making a template here. So this will come down, go in, there'll be a curve that comes around and goes down. So I'll be making a template that will need to be cut on almost every single one, well, on every single one of these on each end, the same template. And then there's also, on quite a few of them within 1 foot, there'll be a cut in that goes up here to 2 inches off of here is where I like it. And it'll go over 6 inches and back down. That's the beam that will, basically these will sit over top of this and give you that locked in effect. There'll still be screws and stuff. But I really like this design mainly because of that. Everything is going to lock together. I like the fact that they cheap cutted this, and you don't have to worry about shifting bad weather, which we get a lot of here. I'm in Indiana, so you know, tornadoes, cyclones, typhoons, all that stuff. I don't have to worry about this at all. Plus I think it looks a lot nicer than just stacked on top. So that's what I'm doing. That's the project for this week. It's July 4th. Finished up my basement a month or so ago. So it's going to be pergola week. And then I've got also some supplies over there for a fire pit, which I'm going to do in the backyard. So more to come, guys. And here we are after just maybe 5-10 minutes with the little orbital sander and some 80 grit. So now we're ready to flip these 180 degrees over, do the same cuts on the other side. Okay, I flipped them over now. I've made my marks on each side, ran my line, then set up my saw. You can see there's a mark, a little V mark there. Set up my saw, set up a straight edge with a couple of clamps to hold it down, and now I'm just going to zip along here. I haven't changed the depth or anything of the cut, so it'll be the same depth that's on the other side. And we'll just wash, rinse, and repeat on the side to get our other cheek cuts across here. More coming. Okay, so here the cuts are. You can see, just made a ton of cuts all the way back. I'm about to get my shop vac, suck all the dust out of there, and then I'll take a hammer and just start whacking. You can see it already starting to break, and it breaks all the way down. Okay, so here's the second side. Finished the cuts, finished sanding them. You know you're done when pretty much all of the saw marks that you sawed across there are gone. You can see just a little bit there, but not enough to be negligible. Again, this is timber frame type of construction. I'm not doing mortise and tenon joints here. I'm really getting this set up cheek cuts to receive these 2x8s, and these will be the 4 corner posts of our construction. So my next thing is I'm going to measure from outside where I'm going to put this, from this cheek cut, because I want this to be on top of my window. Where this is going, there are 3 windows, down to the patio, and these are going to get anchored into the patio. So once I have that measurement, I'll join these all back up again, make sure everything's straight there, and then I'll cut them to the right height so that all the posts are the right height. These are the things that go into the patio. I'll try to show you. These are beasts. This thing, you get a anchor bolt that goes into your patio, and then as you tighten it up, the anchor presses out against the cement, so that holds it. So you got to get these the right place, and then these bolt down into that cement, and then the posts slide down into them. You take a plumb level and you level them left to right, right to left, and then take some of your 3-inch screws. You don't even need anything really big here, and I'll explain why later. It's mainly because of those cheek cuts. And zip, 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 when you got them plumb, and you got your post up. So that's what I'm working on right now. I'm gonna get the posts all built and cut off. Like I said, the cheek cuts are about it. So they're the easiest ones, and then I'll cut these off. The next thing I'll do is I'll make the end templates. So I'm gonna go in like, I don't know, maybe 1 inch, and then around, and then in maybe 1 inch. So those 2 inches will match, and there'll be a semicircle in there. So I'll make a template out of that, and I've got some, I think 1/8 inch melamine type board back here. Probably use that as a template, and then I will either use my jigsaw here to cut it, or I'll cut it proud by about 1/8 of an inch, and then I'll set up a router. I've got additional routers. I'm just showing you the router table, and it's got a ball bearing that will ride on this template that I'm going to create, and so I can jigsaw out up to 1/8 of an inch, and then take my router and go zip, and it'll make it every single one of those cuts exactly the same. So that's where we're at. Thanks for watching. Okay, so I've decided that I want the height of these posts to be 117 3/4 from the cheek cut, because I don't want from here, right here, not from the very top, because I don't want my boards here to be in my view in the window. So put it on here, run it down, 117 3/4. You can't see it right because of the angles, but that's where that black line is. Set up my straight edge, and I'm going to cut as deep as I can. I'll probably do it in a couple different passes and set the depth. I think this will probably only go, I don't know what that is, 2.5, 3 inches. And then I'll have to turn these over and cut the other side for this to fall off, which is perfectly fine. Just more work because they're so big. So that's next. Okay guys, after turning over and sawing the other side, after lining them up, you can see I'm about 2 inches short. I could go around each side and flip them all over and all that fun stuff. But I'm just going to take a good old fashioned handsaw and go straight down there and cut them off. So it's only about 2 inches right in the center, and curve's already there, so it's going to work. Okay guys, so ends are all cut off with the handsaw. Not too bad at all. So these are all have their cheeks cut in them to receive the 2x8s, and they're all the same size. Looks really good. Very happy with that. So now I get to make a template to cut out that fancy thing. So that'll take me a while. It's more of an artsy type of preference on kind of what curves you want and all that. And then I'll be back to show you how I cut this. And so there's going to be like I said, there's going to be a fancy end on here, but also about 1 foot in. Kind of hard to see, but we've got to make a notch out of there. Just do it from this side. So we got to make a notch that basically is about that 6 inches, not quite, because I made the cheek relief cuts in there. But it'll have a fancy cut, and then it'll go down about 1 foot from the very end to where the first notch will come out and end, and then it'll go all the way to the other end, and there'll be another fancy notch for the other post, or square notch, and then a fancy end. And we've got to do that on quite a few of them. But actually, let's see here. Let's show you the back of mine. The back of my pergola is actually going to be about 1 foot from the house. So you can see that's what they're calling rafters is what I'm making. And then there'll be 4 of the beams, which don't get the notch. Okay, they're the ones, the beams in this case. You can see the 2 holes there. They're the ones that are going to sit in this cheek cut and receive bolts that go through them. Okay, the rafters run the other way and need a notch, basically this kind of notch cut out for the rafters to sit across it. The top sets are simple. That's the little pieces of flare there. You can see sweating all over everything. But yeah, that's what I'm working on. So things are coming along. Gonna design how I want that end, and I think I kind of like that one, or I might do a convex rather than a concave on the end. We'll see which one the wife likes. So, all right, getting moving. Okay, guys. So I finished making my template. I first made it out of cardboard. Just an old pizza box I had laying around. Then I took some 1/8 inch laminate that I had, wood laminate laying around. Figured out that I wanted basically 18 inches to here. So it'll give me an 18-inch overhang on all sides. Then my opening is 6 11/16. So I knew roughly what it was because I had clamped this up. And if you remember, originally it was going to be 6, but I decided to change my plan at the last minute because I kind of like this overhang. I think that kind of gives it some character. I just have these 2x4 here for measurement. I mean, obviously it'll be 2x8s that'll go in there. But the nominal thickness is all the same. So I started with, 6 and a bit, and then just kept trimming this out until I got it so that it would fit in there. And I wanted it a little bit loose. So you can see that there's, I don't know, maybe an 1/8 that's in there. Because these are going to be 2x8s. So there's going to be some, some differences in the wood, and I don't want to be cutting each one of these big long 16-footers individually. So just added a little bit of space along that edge. So pergola template, and I just marked each side of it so I don't A, lose it, and then B, if these ever deteriorate or break or whatever, I can throw this in a drawer somewhere or up on a hanger, and I'll be able to cut some new pieces. What I didn't show you guys was my original plan. I found it last night. I've already changed it, like I said. Originally, I was going to have 24 inches, a 2-foot overhang. And I decided that I wanted my beams to be 13-inch on center because we've got some furniture coming in here. And it's like right at 12, so the extra foot will give me plenty. So that meant that these go to 18 inches, which is why that is 18 inches now. Usually I do things like this. This is a front drawing. These are, I think, the beams, and then the black marks there are the rafters, and then there's 2x2s that go on top of that. This is 16 foot, so it's 96 inches on center, so that'll be the first one we lay, and then we'll work out. I think I already worked it out. I think it's 24 inches is the spacing between each of those beams. Here's my side view again. And I'm going to have this about 12 inches away from the house. This is my house. These are my windows that I was talking about earlier, and I want one of those cheek cuts to be above the windows. And then I think I've got a top view in here. Top view just shows how the posts are going to be, and of course that's going to be 13 inches now. And 16 by 16 square. Here I was playing around with figuring out where my notches are going to do. And just, the math, and then figuring out my materials list. Which I said, I think I ordered all of this. I think the wood was like $580. But then I had to go back and buy these metal brackets, and these go on the patio. They get screwed in, and then they attach. Obviously, I think I showed this the other day. They attach to the post to hold them up, straight up and down. These were like 40 bucks a piece, $36. And I got the good ones because you can adjust them. Down here you can see there's notches there, so you can move it if you get off just a little bit. And it has this metal post or metal thing right here. That will set your post up, so if water is on your patio, it's not going to soak into the bottom of your board and ruin your board. Even though it's pressure treated, this will make them last longer. So highly recommend you get those. I think all said and done with materials so far. So that was, let's just call it 600. So yeah, let's just say 750. Yeah, $750. And then I'm building this into a kit, and that's what I'm showing you. Let me take you around back real quick. And I'll show you where we're going to build this. So this will be your first look at here's the boys' tent. And you'll see some stones out here. I'm going to build a fire pit. I'll do a video on that too, although it's really simple to do. This was my Father's Day gift to myself, actually. I think it was a $200 kit, and then I bought another row of bricks. And where that little fake acorn is where it's going to go. So we'll have a nice big fire pit. So this is the back of the house here. We're going to do the pergola. Get a nice view of it. So it's going to go right there on the edge of this concrete, go up, across the top of those windows, and then down the other side. 16 foot across, obviously, and 16 foot out, which we've measured. Actually, the posts are 13 by 13 now. Originally, I think I had 12 by 12, but you just have to change your overhangs. It's not a big deal. Let me show you the patio itself. This patio was here when we moved in. Not my favorite choice, but you can see it's got some nice curves to it, which makes my problem with my first post is going to be down here where the other big acorn is. Can I say my wife is nuts? But that means that this post over here is going to be like right on that edge. So we're going to transplant this plant. My wife likes it. I don't know what it's called, but it's really actually quite pretty. I'm going to dig down 18-24 inches, do a half moon. I've got a form in there, pour concrete in there, so I'll have something solid to stick my post on. But those metal posts, you just drill a hole here. You put those metal U-clips down in there and bang them in, and then they ratchet, and when you ratchet it tightens up the screw into the concrete and it anchors them. So it's a post anchor. So we don't really have to pour a lot of concrete or do forms for each one, other than this one is going to be like right on that edge there. So I'll do one, because otherwise it's just going to break off that edge. So, but yeah, I think it's going to look quite nice back here. At some point I'm going to do like a grill station right here, probably in those same stones. And you can kind of see, right now it's morning, about 10 o'clock. We've got a little bit of sun, but in the afternoon it's horrific back here. So we'll have our fire pit there, the pergola here, grill station here behind me. Hopefully I'm going to be able to do it all in that same stone, which will be quite nice. So we're just trying to make a nice little oasis back here in our community, where we can just relax and come out and have some coffee in the morning and adult beverages at night. So there you go. That's the first day that I've done. I actually finished up some this morning. Tonight I'll start executing on that template, and we will have everything hopefully ready to go in a kit form. Thanks for watching, guys.